father's old broken-down tool house. And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 dozen donuts for the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. And what they couldn't eat, they stuffed in their pockets and down the front of their shirts. And they wrote this really, really dirty word on the back of Naomi Waddle's favorite turtle, so she can't take it to the YMCA pet show. Her mother won't let her. What's the word? And that's not all. They did it with fluorescent paint, so it glows in the dark. When you can't see the turtle, you can still see the word. And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain, and Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop, you're drinking tadpoles." But it was too late. Did she get sick? Not right away. And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So it's hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no Herdmans there. Jesus loves us as they say, because he keeps them miles away. That's my little brother Charlie. That's what he says in Sunday school when the teacher asked him what was his favorite thing about Sunday school. Charlie says, "No Herdmans." That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus. But old Charlie told the real truth. No Herdmans. I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. And all that other stuff was okay. But the main good thing about the church is that the Herdmans aren't there. Ever.
No, that's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Poor Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, this Leroy?
They're all the worst ones. Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you, that doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast and she's mean and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, then tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Now just think of how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't even in the pageant. Think of how your father would feel. You'd feel just terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan on going. Well, you know how crowded those places are. They can use my seat. I'll stay home, put on my bathrobe, and relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
Now, you just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins said he'd pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph. Just because his father's a minister, nobody wants to be Joseph. Nobody wants to be in it.
Now, what are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Oh, why can't Charlie here be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
What I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. The way in the manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
Well, what do you wear in the angel choir? Bed sheets. Oh, boy, some choice. The bathroom for a bed sheet. Let's watch TV.
Now, you children know that Mrs. Armstrong always works very hard to give each one of you a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant, she runs the potluck supper, and she is the chairman of the bazaar. Why, I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she'll try managing the hospital, because that's where she is. I ran into George at the drugstore, said his wife broke her leg this morning. It's going to be in traction for 2 weeks and then be laid up till the first of the year.
The first of the year? Oh, no. They'll have to cancel Christmas.
Now, she's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the pageant and she's in charge of the bazaar. Well, I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all of those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant unless, how about Grace?
Oh, Edna, me? I just couldn't. I'll have company all that week. What about Grace?
Hello? Grace! Bob!
What?
I have to direct the pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Now, here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully, because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
Yes, I know that, Helen.
Well, of course you do, dear. And then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. Frankly, I never spend very much time on Joseph, because it's always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone when she's in traction? What do you think traction is? Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we're going to need salt, pepper, and napkins here.
And then I tell them about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are. And I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors. Now remind the angel choir not to stare at the audience. And don't let them wear earrings and things like that. Don't let them wear clunky shoes and high heels. Now, I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace, because they'll be your biggest problem.
I'm hungry. Leroy heard me stole my lunch again.
Now, how can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
Oh, it's still in the oven.
I'll check it.
Thanks.
You'll need someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they get in each other's way and bend their wings. You know, Bob could do that, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, and Grace, don't get just anybody's baby to be the baby Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two. That way, if one of them turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir, don't let them wear lipstick. They always think just because it's a play that they should wear
There's
lipstick.
someone at my door. I really have to go.
And it looks just awful, so tell them.
Helen, there's someone at my door. I'll call you later. Bye. Yes, I'm coming.
Hey, lady, can I get some supper? Haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
For heaven's sakes, it's just you.
I was very lonely at the table.
I guess Helen's lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors. And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and making sure the shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
count on the herdmans being there. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
Hey, you stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert? I don't care. I'll even give you my dessert. We get all the dessert we want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
Chocolate cake, cookies, candy bars. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
Cupcakes, donuts.
And who gives
ice
it to
cream.
you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh? Hey, Ralph!
That was the wrong thing to tell the herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, in Sunday school, there were the herdmans, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's a play.
Like on TV, what's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Main roles for our Christmas pageant. Now, everybody will have an important part to play, of course. But as Mrs. Armstrong always tells you, there are no small parts, only small actors. Now, isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you?
That's what she always says. But she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to stand on the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. What it means is that the smallest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary. Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to stand on the front row.
Girls, everybody's important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is there anyone here who would like to sing a solo in our pageant?
I have one.
You do? Would you like to come right up here and sing it?
Mr. Santa, bring me some toys. Bring Merry Christmas to all girls and boys. And every night I'll go to bed dreaming of all the presents that you'll be bringing. Santa, come to my door, 'cause I've been dreaming of presents galore. Please come to all girls and boys, Mr. Santa. Please, 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 Mr. Santa. Bring me some toys. Yeah.
That was very good. Is there anyone else who has a song prepared?
I bet Maxine has a song. Go ahead, Maxine.
Okay.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job and you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we make, walking in a winter wonderland.
Very good, Maxine. Anyone else have a song prepared?
I have a song.
You do, Elmer. Would you like to sing it for us?
Yes.
I'm going to sing Little Drummer Boy. They told me, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-rum-pum-pum.
pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. So to honor him, rum pum pum pum, when we come. Baby Jesus, rum pum pum pum. I am a poor boy too, rum pum pum pum. I have no gifts to bring, rum pum pum pum. That's fit to give a king, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. Shall I play for you, rum pum pum pum, on my drum? Mary nodded, rum pum pum pum. The ox and lamb kept time, rum pum pum pum. I played my drum for him, rum pum pum pum. I played my best for him, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. So and then he smiled at me, rum pum pum pum, me and my drum.
Nicely done, Elmer. Does anyone else have a song prepared for today? No? Well, those were very nice. Although we can't use those particular songs in our pageant, but we will need your voices if you would be in our angel choir. Is everyone here? Doris, would you step out in the hall and just see if anyone else is coming, please? Now, those of you who will be in our angel choir will need to have bed sheets.
Oh, man! I can't see you down that hall. What's your refreshments?
Scoot over, children, and let the herdman sit down.
Yeah, get over.
Leroy. Does anyone know where Doris is?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
No, she just left. And how Ivy was. I just said, hi, Doris, and she just left.
Well, will somebody please tell Doris about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Now, everybody plan to be to each one of them.
What if we get sick?
Now, you won't get sick. Now, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be to every one of them.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, David.
Well, Doris got sick and we haven't even started yet.
We don't know that Doris got sick. Doris, are you all right?
Yeah.
Well, now I would like you to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary is. She was quiet and gentle and kind, and the girl that plays that part needs to be that kind of person. So, do I have any volunteers to play the part of Mary?
Hey!
Yes, Emma Jean, do you have a question?
No! I want to be Mary! And Ralph, over there, he wants to be Joseph! Yeah! Right!
Well, oh, I know what we can do. We can just make a list of all the volunteers, and then we can decide who's the best one. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Did I see you raise your hand, Elmer?
No.
Any volunteers, just raise your hand. Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph will be our Joseph. Now, Emma Jean has volunteered to play the part of Mary. Let me just write that down. Now, what other names may I put on my list? Maxine? Doris? Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. Oh, I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be.
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Why do you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand. What's a wise man? Just raise your hand. What's left to be? Some angel. I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. Oh, good. There we do have a volunteer. Did you want to be a wise man, David?
No, I just wanted to say that I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. Besides, my mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. Now, what is the matter with all of you? What's the matter with you guys? Why don't you want to volunteer?
I don't want to be a shepherd either. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus is born.
And hits them?
Don't be ridiculous, Elmer. I don't want to hear another word about it from anybody. Now, no shepherds may quit or get sick. You boys and girls are excused for today. But I want all of you here next Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, what in the world is the matter with you? Why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mrs.
Alice,
Brett,
I expected you
Mrs.
to volunteer.
Bradley.
Don't you want to be
Mrs.
married?
Bradley. Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogen would have killed me, she said. I'm going to be marrying this plane. If you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always marrying the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear, no one will be able to reach it. And it'll sprout there and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear. You know she wouldn't do that. She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole Christmas pageant. It'll be all your mother's fault.
Did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else could all six of them end up in the pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Slocum. Say, I just heard that Imogen Herdman is going to play Mary in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All six of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogen Herdman. What kind of child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus? And where was the Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in, and he wasn't visiting me.
I said, why don't you let them pass out programs at the door or something? But Grace said we don't have programs at the Christmas pageant. So I said,
Better nail down the church and lock up the silver service and hide the collection plate before they clean them out.
What's the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away, told them to go home? Oh, I feel so responsible. If I'd been up and about, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and about, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Well, don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman in the world who can direct a Christmas pageant. I'd made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did, and I just don't care anymore.
Well, good for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean...
Yes, you have to go. Now the inn will be over here off stage, and then the shepherds will come down these steps and they will go over to that corner.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Shut up, Ollie! All you guys shut up! I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you children ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
Yes.
Well, that's what the Christmas pageant is, so I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? They've never heard of a Christmas story. Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they never went to church in their whole life. Now to your dumb brother, told him that we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now, children. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, children, we all know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass while they were there that the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant. Well, she was. I don't think it's very nice for your mother to say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially not in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My heck! No room for Jesus?
Well, the people didn't know the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was with this Joseph guy that he didn't tell him? Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, Mary didn't have a bed in the barn where she was, so she had to use whatever was there. Well, what would you do if you had a new baby and you didn't have a bed to put it in?
Hey! We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only I was still in it. She wouldn't get out. She didn't like Gladys. Remember how I didn't like Gladys? That's pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded-up clothes?
The what?
It said there that she wrapped them in wadded-up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. Back in the old watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory...
Shazam!
What?
Out! With horrible and mighty marvel.
Gladys, I don't know what in the world you're talking about.
The mighty marvel and amazing comet. Out of the black night. With horrible
Gladys,
the
Gladys.
mighty marvel.
This is the angel of the Lord who visits the shepherds in the fields.
Out of nowhere, right? The black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, carrying gifts of gold, frankincense,
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
Well, they were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents than that from the welfare. Were they the welfare, the wise men?
Well, no, they were sort of like kings, and when they came,
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell that innkeeper where to get off.
when they came, they met Herod, and Herod was sort of like the main king. And he wanted to find baby Jesus so he could have him put to death.
My heck, he just got born. They're gonna kill a baby.
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in this play.
You mean he's not killed a baby who isn't even in the play? Well, somebody better be Herod. What Charlemagne Herod? And he said, go give me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's the main king and all. And then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
Nobody's going to be Herod.
No! Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. See, they're going to put a Herod in. It's going to be me and I'll get killed.
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And I run away with the baby to the fight's over.
Yeah, somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out the innkeeper.
Oh, I can't. I'm an angel.
Oh, Gladys, I just hope you can remember that. Now, rehearsal's over for today, boys and girls.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around an old barn. I'd go get a room. She said there was no room. Then I'd throw somebody out. I'd tell them I've got this baby and it's in the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I wouldn't. I'd send the end round and she'd just point her next finger at him and turn her into a pile of ashes. Yeah, that. What's the name of this place? She never said. Christmas pageant. That's no name. That's what it is. Oh, I know a name. I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem. Revenge at Bethlehem. The Hermans thought the Christmas story came right in the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum. But Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus, and that bothered my mother. She even tried to scratch him a baby even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book? It's like a diary. It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley? Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice. I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal, too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go to the ladies' room, the whole air is blue. And there's Imogene Herdman sitting in the Mary costume smoking cigars. And you wrote all this down what for? For my mother, and for Reverend Hopkins, and for the Ladies' Aid Society, and for anyone else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
down with the others, please. Oh. Sit down. Oh. Children, if you will just settle down, it won't take long. Now, this is our last rehearsal, and we're going to...
Grace, I just wanted to let you know that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce. We'll try not to bother you. Oh, I see. This is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby about a month or so ago? A little girl?
Oh, yes, she's 5.5 weeks old, and she's just adorable.
Oh, I was just wondering, could we please call your niece and see if we could borrow the baby for the pageant?
Grace! No! I could tell you a lie or something, tell you the baby was sick or cranky or something like that, but the truth is she's perfectly healthy and happy and beautiful, and we all want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to turn her over to Emma Jean Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can use my little baby Jesus for baby Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
Well, he's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed and he could probably scrunch up.
I don't think so, David.
Hey, I could get us a baby.
You can? How?
Well, you see, there's always 2 or 3 in carriages outside the supermarket. I can just go get us one.
No, Emma Jean. It's not right to take somebody else's baby. No, we'll just have to forget about a baby. I guess we'll just have to use a doll.
Yeah, I guess that's better anyway. You see, a doll can't bite you.
Oh, and Emma Jean, you know that Mary didn't wear earrings.
But I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't leave something in them, they'll grow together.
They won't grow together in just an hour and a half. Well, besides, what did your doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Who pierced your ears?
Gladys did. She probably did it with an ice pick. I'll bet Imogen's ears turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll just have to find something smaller. Okay, now, is that what you children are planning on wearing? I thought you understood that today was supposed to be a dress rehearsal.
I can't find my halo, and I got this very bad cold. Janet's got my robe, and my mom doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear a shirt with balloons on it? I didn't have any costume. I've never been a shepherd before. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. Well, that's what I have to do. My father doesn't have a bathrobe. Well, what does he hang around the house in? His underwear.
All right, children, all right, we'll pretend that you have costumes. Now,
Are we going through the whole thing?
yes, of course we're going through the whole thing, but first I want to just rehearse the entrances. So if you boys will please take the benches off stage, everybody gets your entrances. We'll start with the shepherds. One more bench here. Thank you, Elmer. Put it about right here. Just start with the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
All right, then there will be music, and then the shepherds will come in.
And an angel of the Lord appeared.
No, no. Go ahead, Maxine.
A multitude of heavenly hosts.
All right, then there will be music, and then the angels will come in. And then music and the wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I've named him Jesus.
No, Emma Jean. Mary doesn't say anything.
Let go!
No, Emma a child is born.
Why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? What did that angel do? Just walk up and say, "Name him Jesus"?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. She said his name should be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My heck! He'd never get out of the first grade if he had to write all that. Hey, the baby man! What? My baby!
Where'd they go, Katie?
Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine.
Okay.
5 minutes!
Well, we never did start over, and we never did go through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogen Herman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. Then Mrs. McCarthy came to the ladies' room and saw all the smoke and called the fire department, and they came right away.
Fire! Fire! The tree! There's a fire! Dad's gonna throw a fit.
They cleared everybody out of the building and dragged a fire hose through the church, looking for a fire to put out. But the only fire they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake burned up. Of course, all the ladies were mad about that. And Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little bit of smoke?
Grace, it was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited, and now look, we've got a whole church house full of firemen. We have baby angels all over the streets crying. We have shepherds all over the fire engine in the neighborhood. Didn't you know that it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I didn't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wendick's mother was mad, too. And the whole Ladies' Aid Society's mad. And Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the phone all day, and I can't make head nor tails of what's going on around here. Some say they started a fire in the ladies' room. Others say they started a fire in the kitchen. And Vera, she says the only thing they want to talk about is sex and underwear.
That was David Clark who was talking about the underwear. But they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen when the applesauce cake burned.
Well, the whole church is in an uproar. And I'm sure that when Jesus said, "Suffer little children to come unto me," he didn't have the herdmans in mind. Grace, I think we should call the pageant off this year.
I'll bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
Well, the fire is a good excuse.
And that must have been Edna McCarthy's idea.
Well, you know what they're saying. This is going to be one great, big, fat
Disaster?
disaster. That's right.
Well, they're wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
Grace, Grace, I don't think anybody will come.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jam full. Everybody came to see what the herdmans would
All right, just let me catch the lights. Watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world you expect to do with this thing.
Well, I thought that it might possibly look like a palm tree on stage. I see now that it doesn't. Oh, I don't even know what is going to happen tonight. You know that we haven't even been through the whole pageant once, and the herdmen still think that this is some kind of a spy story. This may be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a big fight and Mary runs off with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
Oh, you children need to get your costumes on. It's getting late.
Oh, Mom, it's just going to be awful. You know, they look like trick-or-treaters, all dirty and fat and those safety kids, and wearing their moldy old sneakers. I mean, Mary and Joseph, they look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. Mary and Joseph were refugees. In a way, you know, they were a long way from home. They didn't know anybody. They didn't have any place to stay. They were probably cold and tired and hungry and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Maybe I better go check them.
Now, I think you're worried too much. I'm going to take little baby angels, and I'm going to push them out on the stage. And then I'm going to hand out shepherd crooks, and then I'm going to push them on the stage. When do I do all that?
Just in that order.
Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. I don't seem to remember where the fire engines come in.
Children, would you come out on the stage, please? I want to check your costumes. Gladys, where is your halo?
My cat buried it. Listen, I think I ought to say something else besides the baby cage. Why would they all get up and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell Miss Keith, or I ought to tell him where he is.
Gladys, you say, unto you a child is born, and that's all you say. Now, children, I would like you to go backstage and be very, very quiet while the people come in. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break the leg.
Break the leg! For those of you who do not know what that means, it's a theatrical say, don't break your leg or anyone else's. Imogene, try to remember that that's supposed to be a baby. Here. Like this.
Would this one be happy?
And for tonight, anyway, that's the baby Jesus.
Lullaby, lullaby, my dearest one. Lullaby and sweetly sleep. Lullaby, lullaby, my fairest one. Close thine eyes in slumber deep. The stars in heaven brightly shine. Their light falls round thy face divine. Lullaby, lullaby, my dearest one. Lullaby and sweetly sleep.
a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in the manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
In a manger, no crib for his bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heavens looked at where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Look at them. Aren't they awful? What's she doing with the baby? Oh, I don't think it's very nice to birth the baby Jesus as if he had colic. Well, he could have colic just like any other baby. I don't care. It looks awful and they look awful. So what? They just came a long way and they have no place to stay. And now they have a new baby to worry about. Who? Ralph and Imogene? No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
While shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground, the angel of the Lord came down, and glory shone around. Fear not, said he, for mighty dread has seized their troubled mind. Glad tidings of great joy I bring to you and all mankind.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, Be not afraid.
Hey! Hey! Unto you a child is born. Jesus is in the barn. Come in. Come on. Over there. Come on.
And suddenly there was a multitude of heavenly hosts, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. They look awful too. What's that Leroy got? It's a ham. A ham. I'll bet they stole it. No, I think it's from their welfare basket. You mean it's their own ham? Then they must hate ham. Well, even if they hate ham, that's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard.
But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. Silent night, holy night, all is lone, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Beth, look. Mary's crying. Mrs. Bradley, Mary's crying.
Could you believe that was Emma Jean and all the rest of them? Irma, this was the best Christmas pageant we ever had. And I'm not sure why, but I think it was because of them. Could that be?
Well, I think you're right. I always get weepy over the pageant, you know, the children and the carols and all. But I think you're right, it was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
Yes, there was just something, oh, I don't know, different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was different.
Yes, but you know, I liked that. Had lots of spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
I wish now that I'd let them have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Why, Irma, who was the baby Jesus?
Well, it was a doll.
Oh, no, that was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if the life happened just that way. We all thought the Christmas story was about Jesus, but that was only part of it. It was about a new baby, a mother and father, and a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew, and arriving from the east like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, and the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys go and see him. He's in the barn, so the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the Christmas story is all wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what Christmas was all about. When it was over, we had a party in the basement. But the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink their cocoa, and they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy cane.
Well, I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, they've all gone home. You know you have your bathrobe on? You aren't going to wear that, are you?
Why not? Maybe somebody will think I'm a shepherd. You know, I wouldn't mind being mistaken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. When it was over, some lady came up and hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I bring the ham and things?
Do you know that these things are from the herdman's welfare basket? And Leroy wouldn't take them home. He said they're a present, and you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? Then they must hate ham. You and Alice Wendell could.
What about the lights?
We're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
Well, that's not far off. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.
Now we would like you to all join us in singing Joy to the World.